In the early days of the coronavirus, Fox News certainly decided to pretend as though coronavirus wasn't an issue, that it was nothing more than a Democrat talking point in order to destroy Donald Trump's chances of getting reelected. And then once Trump started taking COVID-19 seriously, they changed their tune. And so there was an interesting conversation on MSNBC of all places with Gabriel Sherman from Vanity Fair. And he shared a little bit of insight regarding what's happening internally at Fox News. Take a look.
You know, what I've been talking to Fox insiders over the last few days, there's a real concern inside the network that their early downplaying of the coronavirus actually exposes Fox News to potential legal action by viewers who maybe were misled and actually have died from this. You know, I've heard that Trish Regan's being taken off the air is, reflective of this concern that Fox News is in big trouble by downplaying this virus. And the New York Times reported days ago that the Murdoch family was privately taking the coronavirus seriously. The Murdochs, of course, own Fox News, so they were taking personal steps to protect themselves, while anchors like Trish Regan and Sean Hannity were telling viewers that it's a hoax and putting themselves potentially in mortal danger.
So it's so gross that the Murdochs were doing what was necessary to keep themselves safe, while on their air, on Fox News and Fox Business, you had people like Trish Regan arguing that this isn't something to take seriously, it's all a hoax. And by the way, Gabriel Sherman referenced this, but Fox Business did take her off the air. Fox Business announced Friday that it has, quote, parted ways with Trish Regan, a primetime host who gained notoriety for suggesting on her March 9th show that the COVID-19 coronavirus was a politically motivated scam. And this has negative consequences because whether we want to believe it or not, cable television does have a lot of influence, especially Fox News.
And I'm fascinated by how responsive Fox News is to the idea of getting sued. And they realize, look, the government's a joke. We control them completely. That's not going to be a problem. The rest of cable news, they'll tweak us from time to time, but we dangle that carrot of maybe one day we'll hire you too, and they'll bow their heads and be fine. But lawyers, they ain't nothing to mess with. And if somebody dies because they heard one of your idiot hosts telling them that coronavirus is no big deal, well, you could be in for a world of hurt and a giant, giant settlement. And they would know a thing or two about settlements, having paid out so much money to the women that they sexually harassed over and over again. So they're understandably concerned, at least financially concerned, about the misinformation they put out, because this is not a normal political story where you could lie as a regular course of business, which is what Fox does. In this case, if you lie, people might die, and then you're going to have a world of hurt. And of course, that's in the language that the Murdochs understand, which is a world of hurt financially.
And that's the incredible part about it. This isn't about doing the right thing, the moral thing, the pro-life route of informing people so they don't risk their lives in the middle of a pandemic. This is all about the financial ramifications of the misinformation. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about just how influential Fox News really is, because recently Pew Research did a survey on this, and they asked respondents, what percentage of US adults who say Donald Trump is doing an excellent job at responding to the coronavirus outbreak, watch television news, and which percentage watch which networks and which cable channels, right? So if you break it down, it's actually devastating and shocking. So 63% of Fox News viewers believe that Donald Trump is doing an excellent job handling this pandemic. Then you go to CBS and that number drops to 24%, NBC 15%, ABC 14%, CNN 7%. Probably why Trump picks on CNN the most. MSNBC 2%, NPR 2%, New York Times 1%. So unsurprisingly, if an audience is watching Fox News, they come away from those so-called newscasts thinking, oh yeah, Trump's got this. He's doing a great job.
The word used in that poll was doing an excellent job. So don't think that 1% of the people reading New York Times think that he's doing a good job or a fair job, and 99% think he's doing a horrible job. No, the question was excellent, right? So in that context, the number of 63% of Fox viewers thinking that Trump is doing an excellent job of handling the coronavirus is, I mean, it's not stunning anymore, but it is amazing. Look, I'm not sure I've ever seen a poll more indicative of the strength of propaganda than that poll. So if all of your hosts and everyone on air tells you, oh, this one guy, he's awesome. He's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Trump's the best. Everything he handles is so great. If he told you coronavirus was no big deal, then he's excellent. If he later changed his mind and told you it was a big deal, he's excellent. If he then flip-flop back to saying it's no big deal and we should open up, he's excellent. If you do that, yeah, 63% of your viewers go, well, I guess he must be excellent. That's what everyone's saying. Hannity said it. Ingram said it. Carlson said it. Trish Regan said it. He must be excellent. And look, I don't love and trust everyone on that list of the rest of the media. Mm-hmm. Let's keep it real. But at the same time, a lot of those folks certainly share way more facts with you than Fox News does, including facts of what the scientists say and the doctors say, which is not what Fox News does often. And look, one more piece of context that's important, and it's a good thing, but it's kind of hilarious in how they're backpedaling now. Fox just put out a PSA, a public service announcement, with Chris Wallace, Tucker Carlson, and Sean Hannity all telling everybody to be careful about the coronavirus and stay safe. Oh, I see. This PSA brought to you by the Fox News legal department.
100%, definitely. And by the way, the influential nature of the propaganda on, not just Fox News, in media in general, it's just important to keep in mind that it doesn't just play into what's happening with COVID-19. It also plays into what happens in elections, for instance. So if there is this united front in the media against a particular candidate, to act as though, every candidate is on a level playing field and they all have the same chance. And let's say the American people have rejected a certain candidate. You can't really argue that if there is a united front against that particular candidate. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just be a little bit clearer. Yeah. So first of all, on Fox, I'm glad that their legal department made them turn around because they do brainwash their audience. And so if they're going to do that, they might as well at least give them some facts and tell them to be careful about coronavirus. So I'm glad about that turnaround. But let's also note the hypocrisy that Sean Hannity said things that were very, very similar to Trish Regan. But since he's a much larger host on the much larger channel of Fox News, as opposed to Fox Business, no consequences for Sean Hannity. He gets to keep doing what he's doing because they like that money, and Hannity makes more money than Trish Regan. So they make an example out of Trish Regan. So later in the courts, they could say, we took it so seriously. We fired one of our primetime hosts from Fox Business, right? So that's how that game is played. But, the New York Times and the MSNBCs of the world, I mean, I don't know what's more dangerous. Fox News lying to their audience 24/7 will probably win that contest. But what's interesting about the MSNBCs of the world is from time to time, they do good segments like the one we just showed you from Joy Reid.
Right.
And Gabriel Sherman gives you good information, and we appreciate that. And thank you to Joy Reid for putting that on. But if you notice, half that panel, as usual with MSNBC, was Republicans. And so they'll give you information, correct. And then when they turn to politics on the Democratic side, then all of them will agree, the Democrats and the Republicans, it cannot be Bernie Sanders. So it's that trick is actually a little bit more sophisticated and a little bit more dangerous in that sense, because once they give you 3/4 real information, then they switch it up and then give you their political bias posing as real information and facts, that becomes harder to overcome.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.